Hey there, PlayStation family. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, buckle up because we're about to take a wild ride through some of the most jaw-dropping exclusives heading to PS5. I'm your host, and honestly, I've been glued to my screen for the past week, rewatching trailers, analyzing every pixel, and getting goosebumps every single time that PlayStation logo hits. And listen, I've been gaming on PlayStation since the original gray brick. Yes, I'm that old, and I can honestly say we're living in a golden age of exclusives. So let's jump right in. Okay, I know Insomniac hasn't officially announced this yet, but come on. After that post-credits scene in Spider-Man 2, we're getting a third game, and the internet is buzzing with speculation about what that Green Goblin tease means. Picture this, you're web swinging through Manhattan, and I'm talking about that buttery smooth traversal that makes you feel like you are Spider-Man, when suddenly the sky turns this ominous green. The way Insomniac has been building this universe, layering story beats like a Marvel movie, has me convinced that Spider-Man 3 is going to be their Empire Strikes Back moment. What gets me most excited? The emotional weight they're going to put on Peter and Miles. These aren't just superhero power fantasies anymore, they're intimate character studies wrapped in spectacular action sequences. Remember that scene in Spider-Man 2 where Miles had to make that impossible choice? I literally had to pause the game and take a walk around my apartment. The combat evolution from the first game to the second was phenomenal, that seamless switching between Peter and Miles, each with their distinct fighting styles, and I'm betting they're going to push that even further. Maybe we'll finally get that co-op mode fans have been begging for. Sucker Punch absolutely nailed it with the first Ghost of Tsushima. That game didn't just transport you to feudal Japan, it made you feel like you were living in a Kurosawa film. The way the wind guided you instead of traditional waypoints, pure genius. Now, if the rumors about a sequel set in Edo period are true, we might be looking at a completely different Japan, more urban, more political intrigue, maybe even early firearms mixing with traditional samurai combat. Imagine Jin Sakai's story continuing, or maybe a new protagonist entirely, navigating the complex world of shoguns and emerging modernization. What absolutely blew my mind about the first game wasn't just the stunning visuals, though watching those leaves dance in the wind will never get old. It was how the combat felt like a deadly dance. Every katana clash had weight, every standoff made my palms sweat. If they can capture that same magic while evolving the formula, Game of the Year material hands down. The photo mode alone in the first game turned us all into virtual photographers. I probably spent more time capturing the perfect sunset shot than actually progressing the story, and I regret nothing. Aloy's journey has been one of the most compelling evolution arcs in gaming. From a curious outcast to literally saving the world from ancient AI threats, Guerrilla Games has created something special here. The way they blend prehistoric creatures with futuristic technology never stops being absolutely mind-blowing. If Horizon 3 follows the trajectory they've been building, we might finally get answers about the bigger cosmic threats hinted at in Forbidden West. The Nemesis storyline has me theorizing late into the night. Are we heading for a space-faring adventure? Multiple planets? The possibilities are endless. But here's what I really want to see, more of those emotional moments between Aloy and her companions. The relationship dynamics in Forbidden West felt more mature, more nuanced. That scene with Beta, that hit different. Guerrilla proved they're not just masters of spectacle, they understand heart. The machine combat is already near perfect. Targeting specific components, using the environment, that satisfying thunk when you nail a perfect shot with the hunter bow. If they can expand on the underwater sequences and maybe add more verticality to the world traversal, we might have the definitive open-world experience. And can we talk about how gorgeous these games are? Every screenshot looks like concept art come to life. Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog have been pretty coy about Part III, but after the HBO series reminded everyone why this universe is so special, it feels inevitable. The question isn't if, it's when, and WHO. Part II was controversial, let's be honest. But looking back now 2 years later, that game was brave. It took risks that most developers wouldn't dare attempt. The way it explored cycles of violence, revenge, and ultimately forgiveness, that's not just video game storytelling, that's literature. If Part III happens, I'm fascinated by where they could take the narrative. Ellie's story feels complete in many ways, so maybe we're looking at a new protagonist entirely. Or perhaps we jump forward in time, seeing how the world has changed. What I know for certain is that Naughty Dog's attention to environmental storytelling is unmatched. Every abandoned building tells a story. Every piece of concept art on a wall makes you pause and think about the lives that were lost. The way they make you care about characters in just a few minutes of screen time is honestly unfair. The stealth gameplay loop of listening, planning, executing, it never gets old because every encounter feels personal, desperate. These aren't power fantasies, they're survival stories where every resource matters. Santa Monica Studio gave us the perfect conclusion to the Norse saga with Ragnarök, but Christopher Judge himself has hinted that Kratos' story is far from over. The question is, where do you go after literally ending the world? I have a theory, and hear me out: Egyptian mythology. Think about it. The visual spectacle, the rich pantheon of gods, the opportunity for completely new gameplay mechanics around desert environments and ancient magic. Plus, imagine Kratos and Atreus, or just Kratos, navigating the political intrigue of Egyptian deities. What made the Norse games so special wasn't just the incredible combat, though that axe throw will never not be satisfying. It was the father-son relationship at its core. Watching Kratos learn to be vulnerable, to be a teacher instead of just a warrior, gave emotional weight to every encounter. The boss fights in these games are more than just mechanical challenges, they're emotional crescendos. That final battle in Ragnarök, I'm not ashamed to admit I teared up. The way they blend cinematic storytelling with gameplay is pure artistry. If they can bring that same emotional depth to a new mythology while innovating on the already perfect combat system, we might be looking at another generational masterpiece. Software and Sony, if you're listening, please. The original Bloodborne isn't just one of the best PlayStation exclusives ever made, it's one of the best games, period. The way it twisted cosmic horror with Victorian Gothic aesthetics created something genuinely unique in gaming. A sequel could explore so many directions. Maybe we dive deeper into the Great One's cosmic realm, or perhaps we get a prequel showing Ihharnam before the Blood Plague. The lore in Bloodborne is so dense, so mysterious, that there are countless stories left to tell. What made Bloodborne special wasn't just the difficulty, though those early hours were definitely a trial by fire, it was the atmosphere. The way the city of Ihharnam felt alive with dread, how every corner might hide something that would redefine your understanding of the world. That first encounter with a Great One, life-changing. The combat encouraged aggression in a way that Dark Souls never did. That rally system where you could regain health by immediately counterattacking. Brilliant design that made every encounter feel like a deadly dance on the edge of disaster. Plus, can we talk about that soundtrack? The way the music swells during boss fights, perfectly complementing the cosmic horror themes, it's audio design at its finest. Insomniac Games showed us what the PS5 could really do with Rift Apart, and honestly, I'm still not over those instant world transitions. The way Rivet would leap through a dimensional portal and you'd be in a completely different reality without a single loading screen, that's next-gen gaming. A sequel could push those dimensional mechanics even further. Imagine puzzles that span multiple realities or combat encounters where you're fighting the same enemy across different dimensions simultaneously. The creative possibilities are endless when you have that kind of technical foundation. But what I loved most about Rift Apart wasn't just the technical wizardry, it was how it brought back that pure joy of discovery. Every new weapon felt like Christmas morning. The topiary sprinkler that turns enemies into hedge animals, the glove of doom that just spawns tiny robots everywhere. Its weapons design with a sense of humor. Rivet was a fantastic addition to the universe, bringing her own personality while feeling authentically part of this world. The chemistry between her and Kit mirrored Ratchet and Clank's relationship while being distinctly their own. The boss fights felt like playable Pixar movies, colorful, creative, and always surprising. If they can expand on that formula while introducing new mechanics around dimensional travel, we might get something truly special. Sucker Punch has been busy with Ghost of Tsushima, but I keep hoping they'll return to the infamous universe. Second Son had such a unique take on superhero power fantasy. The way Delsin could absorb and evolve different abilities felt fresh and exciting. A sequel could explore what happens when superhuman abilities become more common in society. The moral choice system in these games always felt meaningful, because the consequences were immediately visible in how the world reacted to you. What I loved about Second Son was how Seattle felt like a living, breathing city under martial law. The way DUP forces would react to your reputation, how civilians would either flee in terror or cheer depending on your actions. It made every choice feel consequential. The traversal powers were incredible. Smoke dashing through vents, neon light speed running up buildings, each power set changed not just how you fought, but how you moved through the world. That's brilliant game design. If they could bring back that moral complexity while expanding the power sets and maybe adding co-op play, we might have something really special on our hands. This one's pure wishful thinking, but hear me out, the Sly Cooper series deserves a comeback. The cel-shaded art style would look absolutely stunning on PS5, and the heist-based gameplay loop has so much potential for innovation. Imagine heists that span multiple time periods, or maybe online co-op where you and your friends actually plan and execute the perfect crime together. The series always had this perfect blend of platforming, stealth, and storytelling that felt uniquely PlayStation. Thieves in Time ended on such a cliffhanger, and it's been over a decade since we've seen these characters. Sly, Bentley, and Murray's friendship dynamic is one of gaming's great trios, and there's definitely room for new stories in this universe. The series has always been about style over raw power, and that philosophy could translate beautifully to modern PlayStation hardware. Plus, we need more games that aren't afraid to be colorful and fun without apology. Santa Monica Studio has hinted that they're working on something completely new alongside God of War, and honestly, that might be the most exciting prospect on this list. When a studio that created both the original God of War trilogy and the Norse duology decides to try something entirely fresh, you pay attention. They've proven they can handle intimate character stories, epic mythological battles, and everything in between. What if they applied that storytelling mastery to a completely different genre? Sci-fi, modern day, historical fiction that isn't mythology-based. The technical expertise they've shown with their recent games, the seamless camera work, the incredible character animation, the way they blend gameplay and cutscenes, could elevate any concept they choose to pursue. Part of me hopes it's something completely unexpected, maybe a psychological thriller, a space opera. Whatever it is, I have complete faith that it'll be something special. And there you have it, folks, 10 PlayStation exclusives that have me more excited about gaming than I've been in years. This is why PlayStation continues to be the home for incredible single-player experiences. These aren't just games. They're adventures, emotional journeys, technical marvels that push the boundaries of what interactive entertainment can be. What gets me most excited is the diversity here. We've got superhero spectacles, intimate character studies, cosmic horror, mythological epics, and pure platforming joy. PlayStation's commitment to single-player, story-driven experiences in an industry increasingly focused on live service games is genuinely inspiring. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these games are you most excited about? Did I miss any rumored exclusives that have you hyped? And honestly, what do you think Sony's secret weapon is going to be for the next few years? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this got you as excited as I am. And make sure to subscribe because we're going to be covering every single one of these games as more information becomes available. Until next time, keep gaming, PlayStation family. The future has never looked brighter.